And with our stable now proper, oh, look at that. Roach, it's perfect, isn't it? I told you it would be brilliant. You've got a friend in the stable hand. Absolutely lovely. Either way, I do have a feeling I'm gonna need you because a new day is dawning and we have a long way to ride, and I'm not gonna let myself be distracted by all of this madness going on here. That will happen later. Absolutely later. Regis awaits. No place like home. I have always liked to fill my days with industrious activity, and without a shadow of a doubt I can say Geralt shared my predilection in this regard. We both prized any chance to toil to make the world a better place, differing only in that I usually used quill and harp to accomplish this, while Geralt did so with his sword. Yet, on this occasion, it was Geralt who could bask in the satisfaction that a completed work of aesthetic excellence brings in his wake. When the renovations of Corvo Bianco were completed, Geralt was just as proud of himself as if he had strangled a Kikimor with his bare hands. Regis, I have finally returned. I am very sorry it took a little bit longer than I thought it would take. Regis, did you not clear the garden again? Oh, garden, graveyard, you know what I mean. Always these arthrospores. You really should have taken care of them a whole lot sooner. And also, I should really not go into the fray without my golden aureole. You bugger, right off, you nasty piece of work. Come on. I really thought Regis would have done something about all of you. But no. How can a vampire live with creatures like you around? Dear oh dear. Wait. I was about to say no loot. Well, there we go. Regis, do I have to go through the front entrance or through the back entrance? Please tell me the front entrance. Oh, thank God. Alright, where are you? I mean, I have given you a whole lot of time to figure out the stuff that you wanted to figure out. Because you said something along those lines. Honestly, it's been a few days. I can't fully remember. Regis? Are you up there? Hi. Do you mind me snooping about the place just a little bit? No? What's over there? Oh, it's just mushrooms. Okay. So, would this right now be your bed? Or Arcadius Borovic lived to a ripe old age. In fact, he lived so long, he died of boredom. Well, ain't that peachy for him. What have we got over here? Biography of the vampire Regis from the Quill of Dandelion. Do you mind if I read this, Regis? One of the most extraordinary individuals I have encountered during my numerous adventures at Geralt's side was the vampire known as Regis. To be precise, he was known as Emil Regis Rohelek Terziev Godfrey. By his own reckoning, he was 428 years old and was the descendant of unfortunate beings trapped in our world during the conjunction of spheres. You are surely thinking, dear reader, about the Calicants, Alps and other such monsters, and are pondering how it was that the Witcher, who, it must be admitted, is a slayer of monsters, came to keep such company. I must here explain that Regis was a higher vampire, a creature which physically does not differ all that much from a man. Higher vampires are also much more powerful than their wild confreres, and their regenerative abilities significantly outpace those of anything else you have encountered or can even imagine. But it is not because of his outer appearances or inner strength that Regis became our dear companion. True, he could be pretentious and rather pompous in his frequent length perorations. Dandelion, use normal words, please. But one would be hard-pressed to find in him the haughtiness is usually present in higher beings. Regis valued human life dearly and refused to kill unless forced to do so. As he once confessed, Higher vampires do not in fact need to drink blood at all in order to survive. They treat it somewhat as we treat alcohol. A rough grasp of this dynamic might be given to you by the fact that, when we met him, Regis had been abstinent for years. He never revealed to us why he decided to join our search for Ciri. He had never met her before, nor did he live to see her. He died at Steek Castle during the battle against the mad mage Vilgefortz, who was responsible for the whole affair. He died for a cause which he surely did not fully understand, but he did it to defend those he held dear, and simply because it was the right thing to do. I shall always remember him as a rural surgeon reeking of herbs. That is how he came to us during our first encounter at the Fenkarn Necropolis, when he treated me and my companions to a fantastic brew he made from mandrake root. Wherever you are, my friend, bottoms up. Dandelion. I'm sure you will meet Regis one day again. Either way, again, Regis, massive apologies. Took a little bit longer than I imagined, but there was this white, the spotted white, you see, and it was a curse, and we helped her.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
I hope so.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Very helpful creatures, those ravens. Have you been spying on me? I mean, I swear everything that I did, it was necessary. Trust me, in some witchery sense.
Send your spies after me?
My watchers. Were something to go wrong, I could then arrive quickly to help.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned the last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire
Yeah.
who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
What's the catch here?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
You found nothing?
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. That stands to be very, very dangerous.
And that also explains exactly why you were looking so hard for a replacement for this specific ingredient. But dangerous for who exactly? Will it be dangerous for yourself or just all those around you? Meaning me.
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True, but I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
Well, in that case, thank God that I gave you as much time as you required. I did a good thing getting distracted. Anyway, but seeing how we will have to do this, how do you plan to induce this state?
Alright, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesham Mutna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Oh, God. Okay, this place Tesham Mutna. Certainly tell me more, but... Can you give me one moment, for I do think I need to prepare.
Little expedition's starting to sound dangerous. Think I better prepare.
I understand completely. Do tell me when you're ready to set off.
Yeah, for sure. We say talking about beasts and whatnot. being lured towards you. I'm not sure what kind of beats you have in mind, but either way, I'm not sure if I like where this is gonna go. Once Regis received the penultimate ingredient required to brew resonance, he said the time had come to tackle the most difficult challenge. For apart from all else, resonance had to include the blood of a higher vampire. At first, Geralt saw this as no challenge at all, as standing before him was a representative of said species. Yet Regis revealed that the blood he needed had to be of a specific chemical composition. His blood would change only under conditions of great suffering, and Regis offered to endure this without hesitation, really showing how far Regis was willing to go to find his friend. I don't know what would truly await us where we're going, but I will add some Hangman's Venom to my steel weapon and... would it be wise for me to possibly go all the way back to Beauclair and maybe get some weaponry made? I mean, it is pretty nearby. Though, no doubt we will return it very soon in the future as well. I'm really not sure what to expect. But I think we will be ready to go. Regis, if you're ready for this...
Regis.
Ah, there you are. Might we set off for Tesham Mutna now?
I guess we shall. Please tell me more about this place.
Tesham Mutna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village.
Bloody hell.
This brought trouble on the entire species.
No kidding.
Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Tesham Mutna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage, sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
Let it be known, Regis, I know you really dislike doing this, and I really appreciate that you're willing to try and go to this length to try and find that love. If you're ready, then let us go.
See no reason to dawdle. Tesham Mutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
Which would be?
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice.
Wouldn't it have been better to drink this while we were there?
The die is cast. High time we set off for Tesham Mutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
You really should have waited.
Scare me.
Because I don't know how far Tesham Mutna is, but it sounds pretty far. And I'd rather not become your breakfast in the morning.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
And how are you holding up? Are you sure you want this? I don't think you want this. We don't have any other choice, but nonetheless, for friendliness, because you are my friend.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
No, I get that. In that case, I'll lead the way, Regis.
You lead.
Is that good or bad news? Might mean there are necrophages around.
Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
God.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger.
And I'm not a fan of scurvers.
Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
Call me intrigued.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests.
It
The
works.
mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
Very much so. Do you mind if I take whatever the bloody hell I can get from here? While we're at it? I mean, the place is in ruins. God
It
knows
shall
what we
always
might
be
find.
so. During the conjunction, the gate from our well into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Huh. Well, in that case, you shall not mind me taking all of this stuff, right? Who knows what we might find. Human husbandry and care.
Human husbandry and care? This for real?
Apparently.
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
Well then, call me intrigued, even though that seems rather weird at the same time. Nonetheless, curious little me. The most important aspect of raising human livestock is to provide the herd with conditions that, on the one hand, guarantee their survival, but on the other, do not extend too far beyond the minimum needed for that survival. It should be borne in mind that people are creatures bestowed with great intelligence, or rather cunning and instincts that allow them to gain as much as possible from their environment. In terms of husbandry, this means humans will always try to obtain more than we give them. It is recommended, therefore, to provide each individual with a place to sleep, a meal twice a day, and permanent access to water. These conditions, which might seem overly luxurious to some, ensure the optimal production of high-quality hemoglobin. More details on diet in later chapters. Also essential is access to air, for without which humans die within minutes. There is no need to be concerned about the ability for human livestock to multiply in the conditions described above. If they are ensured a minimal existence and male and females are mixed, they will copulate irrespective of whether they are in captivity or not. It is worth mentioning here that there is a school of thought that suggests treating human livestock with greater freedom and care, including providing them with greater quality fodder and a certain degree of freedom. This allegedly ensures a greater amount of favorable elements in their blood and makes it tastier. However, it is worth mentioning that this method of husbandry is much more difficult and requires emotional bonding techniques, which will be discussed in following chapters. Well, ain't that peachy? For sure, Regis. Either way, Tesham Mutna steel sword armor. Champion of Tesham Mutna? Okay. I am he who serves the tribe. Exalted above men, I renounce human weakness. Uplifted above men, I become keeper of my flock. Filled with strength, I turn my sword against the enemies of the tribe. I am master and slave. I am executor of the will of the tribe. I accept this sword and this armor, so I may serve the tribe. Okay, what kind of armor would that be in the sword? It's not as good as my current steel sword Iris, of course. Decent armor piercing, but... Wait. Killing opponents restores vitality. It's a relic set. The amount of vitality restored equals 1% of the maximum vitality for each element of the set worn. Alright. Apparently there are 6 pieces of the set though. And with 3 of them in total, you get that effect. Alright. How would it look? I'm just curious. Dark, brooding. Seems interesting. But definitely not as great as our bag here. Nonetheless, I'm taking it.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beings have breathed their last here.
Yeah. By the way, Regis. Other than the creaking of these floorboards, which kind of terrifies me because this place might come crumbling down at any second. Did no one decide to try and cut that open, for example, to find their way down here? Because that would have been a way. Sure, where does that leave your only access with higher vampire blood door, in that case? I see a security flaw, that's all I'm saying. As long as one has enough rope, well, they'll be able to manage.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlove's. We both remained in this part of the world.
And the others just went on to other places. What about the snake wrapped around the hand? Is that one of any importance, Regis?
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tadet. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
You really spread all over, just like humans. Battery cage versus free-range humans. What?
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed. Though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
I trust you. I trust you, don't worry. However, nonetheless, still interesting to know about all this kind of, well, madness. In recent decades, many of us have come to believe that a much more effective way of obtaining good quality human blood than hunting individuals is their systematic, controlled husbandry. Apart from the obvious advantages, such as being able to control what the flock eats and the ability to crossbreed specific individuals to obtain offspring with the best hemoglobin, another clear advantage to breeding humans flocks is that domesticated humans held in confinement, as opposed to those in their natural habitat, in essence villages, towns, they become less aggressive and therefore less troublesome. When it comes to farming humans, there are various schools, of which 2 seem to have gained the widest acceptance in recent times, namely battery cage and free-range husbandry. This thesis describes in detail the advantages and disadvantages, as well as the methods of carrying out each type of breeding. As an introduction, it is worth mentioning the basic difference between both types. That would be useful, yes. Battery cage human husbandry, described very accurately and in detail in the book Human Husbandry, is the placing of several male and female individuals in a closed, restrictive space, with permanent access to air, food and water. This form of breeding differs from free range in that the flock is not permitted to leave the breeding area and is held captive the entirety of their lives. Free range, on the other hand, involves leaving the flock in its natural habitat, or creating a habitat that simulates it closely, i.e. creating villages, more on which can be found in the chapter Human Villages, establishing and growing a herd, and then making the herd psychologically or physically dependent on its owner. The most effective method for making a human individual dependent is guaranteeing its safety and permanent access to high quality feed. It is worth adding that a human that trusts its owner does not feel fear and does not defend itself when having its blood drunk, which limits the production of non-adrenaline and cortisol, which have a negative effect and impact on the taste of the blood. Furthermore, it may happen that a domesticated free-range human may feel a certain pleasure when its owner drinks its blood, most likely associated with sexual tension, which causes an intensification in the blood's flavor. All of this reaches still, although maybe normal for you, to those who it talks about, for sure it's this weird. Tesham Mutna boots and mask. Okay. Well, the armor compared to what I currently got is definitely interesting for sure, and I guess the mask we can just normally wield. And how would this look? Okay, I can't really preview that, but just an example. Yeah, now this would have been a mask that was useful for a bank robbery of some kind, but I'll keep it in my collection, I guess.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
That, I guess, is fair. Children. Ay. So... Okay, I'm hearing the Scurvers, I believe.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
Alright, we've seen you. Definitely seen you. But I can still investigate you again.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garasham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
So how many of these tribes were there, and why is everything being so creaky and loud? Transcript of a conversation with a lower being. Who are you? My name is Alex Brincott. Why is all your skin trembling? I'm scared, sir. You're scared? I don't understand. You don't know what fear is, sir? No, I have mastered your language, yet some concepts are beyond me. What is fear? It's a feeling that destroys every other feeling. It controls your head and your heart. What do you mean? I thought it was a kind of pain. I have carried out tests in my laboratory on people, and I discovered that a mother subject to appropriate stimuli is able to forget about a child and think only about how to avoid pain. So fear would be similar to pain? No, pain rules the body, but fear is born in the heart. Oh yes, what you say is very interesting. I think I will have to examine your heart in the laboratory. What do you mean, examine? I mean examine. Take it out and subject it to a proper examination. But sir, that would kill me. Yes, your mortality is a great inconvenience, but it was not me who created your species, and I am not responsible for its excessive frailty. The conversation was carried out in human language, in such it was written down. Its transcription does not need translating. I guess so. Oh, fun times. Yeah. Okay, really? I'm hating all the creaky business going on here. Notes of a Tesham Mutna prisoner. Okay, just because you don't want to recount these stories doesn't mean that I don't want to know. I found a piece of parchment that fell from the pocket of one of the monsters. I also have a lump of coal. I would write this in my own blood, but I have hardly any left. I am cold. Every third day they come and open my veins, after which I cannot move. I can't go on much longer. From the next cage I hear the howls of terrified people. If I had the strength, I would smash my head against the bars. I hope it won't go on much longer. Alois from the cage next to me died yesterday. They drank him to death. This must have irritated them, because I heard them arguing in this strange language. They brought new people this morning. You could say that a supply of fresh blood arrived. But they have no idea what they are in for. My only comfort is that I know already, and I won't have to live through the terror that I felt the first time they came for me. I have no idea what they wanted until they pulled out their shiny instruments. I have never seen such beautiful metal. My blood glistening a purple silvery color in those instruments. Yikes. Just your average cattle. And Tesham Mutna gone. Didn't... I thought I already had those. Apparently not. Again, good stuff, but not what we're after. So... would this be the room we're looking for? That be your cage?
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They
God.
treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it. Ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then.
Alright, I will get to it.
Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, sends shivers.
It was the natural order of things.
Uh-huh.
The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Fun times, for sure. So, are you just gonna float around, or are you gonna... You're actually giving light. Okay, you know what? That actually helps, Regis. That helps quite a bit. Nonetheless, I have my witcher senses. I'll manage. Before I go and place the bait around, I'll take a quick look around and make sure that anything that could be of use for this will be used. Alright. So we have 4 of these in total. Scurvers are gonna break through. You know what? Before we start this, for sure, necrophage oil. I want to be prepared for these beasts. Let's see. Number 2, which means all of this is in the way, meaning that will do. Won't take long now before those curvers arrive.
3 done. 1 left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. Meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
Well, only one way to find out, I'd say. If you're ready, I'm ready. So, now you get in the cage and... I really hope you're ready for this, Regis.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent. Also, my head started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
And I think we for sure don't even want to figure out that true meaning of thirst. Alright, well, you're safe and sound up there.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what did you do once I uttered it?
Truth be told, no clue.
Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, no. You won't be able to.
You must forge through this, that is all.
Well, in that case, let me try and do my best. While I'm dealing with bloody rot fiends. Not a fan. At least those will explode on top of each other, like that.
That's not the blood.
Oh dear. Regis, hang in there. Hang in there. It will be fine. I hope. I really hope. Okay, okay. Ooh, there's a whole lot of you right here, right now. God. Okay. Well, what the heck? Wait, is that a vampire? Oh god, we have got flares as well. We have got flares as well. That's a bad combination, I'd say. Real bad combination. Okay. Take care of the scurvers. That's it, that's it, that's it. Okay. Gotta say, that explosion range was a whole lot bigger than I thought it would be. Alright, let's try that again. This time around, maybe with a little bit more success. And also, taking a whole lot more distance from the scurvers exploding. Because, God! Their damage radius is insane.
I shall overcome.
Good, because I can hear more coming.
And this is starting to already become absolute hellish. Okay, take care of the flatter. Take care of the flatter. Keep Quen up. Because this is about to go horribly wrong like this. Come on. That's it. That's it. Take care of the ghouls. This will work. Get our rot fiend out of the way. Oh, come on, Regis. Oh, I hate to see him hurt like this. No, no. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, there is way too many of you. Have some fire. Have some fire. Okay, as long as we keep our Eden trap ready, it will be fine. It will be fine. It will be fine. Ho, ho, ho. God, we learned every single monster here.
Hold on, I'll let you out.
Not yet. Oh, even monsters know to fear a higher vampire's bloodlust. I'm so sorry, Regis.
Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore.
I'm here, my friends. I'm here.
Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you.
Let's first get you to a safe place. Back home.
Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Honestly, thank you for this. But let's talk. What happened back there?
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Deadloff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you, the pain is my way of paying my debt.
The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff.
If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.
That love really means an awful lot to you. You sure that that's... still... By the way, Regis, thank you for this. I've said it a few times now and I can't say it enough, I guess. But let's hopefully hope that we won't ever have to do that again. Either way, I finished your brew.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh?
The Delacroix mill, where we saw the bloodstain. But with that card, you were sent after him.
But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
What?
Why are you killing Detlef? Wait, that is how you lost your hand? Who is making you kill?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Detlef had made friends with him. Still killed him, and chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detlef I know. See anything else?
I saw the moment when Detlef and Delacroix first met at some kind of shoe shine situation.
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. was kind to Dettlaff. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly, the situation provoked such emotions in Dettlaff. Keep in mind, he did later murder Delacroix.
Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong emotion. Vampires are no different in that regard. Did you see anything else?
Well, the vision began and thus ended with a bootblack. I guess that's the name.
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Dettlaff first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the port district. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Dettlaff.
Which means they might be a link to him.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with?
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
I can
That's
imagine.
fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
And as usual, Regis, I'm not making any promises for how long this may take. It proved quite the ordeal for Regis. A sacrifice, one might say. But they obtained the last ingredient required for resonance, and the vampire could prepare the concoction. Geralt drank a dose, and visions ensued. He saw Dettlaff, where he had recently been, what he had done, and it was enough for Geralt to know he now needed to find a local bootblack. He hoped the boy would help him locate his foe. And where the children toil, toys waste away. Find the bootblack who appeared in the vision, which would be at the ports district, clearly. However, now a part of me wants to go back to Count Delacroix's mill in case there is something to be found there right now, because we didn't know what we were looking for last time. Well, we realized, but now that we know that that indeed was the murder location of Delacroix, I think we shall go there. But we'll have to meet with Regis back here, right? And I got a feeling that the moment that we have learned more of where Dettlaff might be hiding, we might want to go after him as quickly as possible. Which means this is a moment where I definitely want to return to the Tesham Mutna ruins, which we can learn something about right now. It is widely accepted that vampires came into our world during the conjunction of the spheres. They quickly spread all across the continent, trying to adapt to their new situation. According to legend, one of them, Kagmar, settled in Tucson. Grim tales are whispered about his deeds, but whether he truly even existed is hard to say. The tales do agree on one thing, however. Kagmar's story is inextricably tied to the mysterious fortress known as Tesham Mutna. Well, I don't want to go there again, but there were certain situations in regards to the whole wine wars going on all the way down there, so let's go to Frank Collard, meet with Count Belladal, take part in his picnic, and then later travel further downwards. Afterwards, we'll return towards Beauclair, maybe to have a talk with our Grandmaster, Diagrams Lafargue, and then Delacroix's mill, only to return back, because I do need to actually go towards Beauclair itself to sell some stuff, because I'm starting to carry an awful lot. And maybe a small detour towards Corvo Bianco, see how Marlene is doing, perhaps. At least, for now, we have got our heading.
Regis was right in saying that we probably wouldn't understand how much he owed Dettlaff, but I really do fear for where this story might be going. Can Dettlaff still be reasoned with if it seems like he is being made to kill? Only time will tell.